Stakeholders in the agricultural sector have expressed fears that Nigeria may further suffer a setback in a quest for food sufficiency. The claim that the impact of the crisis in Russia-Ukraine, climate change, a rising price of fertilizer and flooding, which caused a dramatic increase in food prices, are likely to worsen this country's food crisis and plunge many into anger if urgent steps are not taken by the government and other stakeholders. What can the new government do to ensure food sufficiency and earn foreign exchange and create more employment?
Agriculture is an important sector of the Nigerian economy, employing about 70% of the population and contributing around 24% to the country's GDP. Nigeria has a rich agricultural history and is known for producing crops such as cocoa, palm oil, cassava, yams, and rice. In recent years, the government has made efforts to boost agricultural productivity and increase food security through initiatives such as the Agricultural Transformation Agenda (ATA) and the Anchor Borrowers Program. These programs aim to provide farmers with access to credit, inputs, and modern farming techniques to improve yields and increase income. However, this sector still faces challenges such as inadequate infrastructure, insufficient funding, and climate change. Despite these challenges, the agricultural sector in Nigeria has the potential to drive economic growth and reduce poverty, especially in rural areas. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu spoke about the need to fix the problems with the sector.
Rural income can be secured by Commodity Exchange Board guaranteeing minimal prices for certain crops. Animal products, a nationwide program for the storage and facilities to reduce spoilage and waste. All of that will be undertaken. Agricultural hubs will be created throughout the nation to increase production and engage in credit, promote credit, engage in value-added processing. The livestock will introduce the best modern practices and steps taken to minimize the perennial conflict. Through this, food will be made more abundant, yet less costly. Farmers shall earn more while the average Nigerians pay less.
All right, joining us to look at this issue is Victor Okechukwu Vishnay. He's an agriculturist and entrepreneur in the agriculture sector. Very warm welcome to Newsnight.
Thank you.
Well, you had the incoming president there. Some of the things that he's going to do, you know, setting his own agricultural agenda to rejuvenate the sector. He's going to bring back the Commodity Exchange Board. And he's going to look at, you know, value-added processes, particularly for perishable agricultural produces. These are steps in the right directions, or what are those things that probably could have made, you know, the earlier government agricultural agenda or revolution failed or not meeting the 100% target it tried to?
Well, the truth is what the president, the new president has said is good, you know. But the problem in Nigeria is not what governments say or what presidents say, you know, but what is actually done. If you recall, the last administration, before Muhammadu Buhari came in, he recognized the importance of agriculture, especially in the diversification of the economy, and he took certain steps, which were very well intentioned. He moved the responsibility for the financing of agriculture to the CBN.
With all the anchors borrowers
program and all of that,
which achieved a lot because we had the grains pyramid.
Are you?
Didn't we have the pyramids? The former president commissioned a lot of the pyramids.
Chris, I hope you don't mind if I call you that. Christian. Let me ask you a question.
No, I'm the one asking you, not me.
Okay.
Yes, I'm the one. So you are the expert here, so say it to the viewers.
We had commodity pyramids, rice pyramid, maize pyramid, and all whatnot. But what are those pyramids actually, in the real sense of it? You're a well-educated human being. Nigerians are educated. Nigerians are sophisticated, actually. And I find it very insulting that such a wool should have been pulled over our eyes, because pyramids, granite pyramids of remember, in Kano, were actually means of storage in those days, in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, before you had silos, before you had warehouses, before you had proper storage facilities, and when CBN and the president began to tell us that those pyramids were proof that there was food, abundant food in Nigeria. Every one of us knew that there was not enough food in Nigeria. Food prices had risen. Rice, for instance, because that administration, the last administration...
That was because of inflationary trends, not because of... Is it because of the non-availability of these commodities? There was no scarcity. The foods were there. But inflationary trends have made them to rise. You want to talk of cost of transportation, evacuating the foods from the farms, the bad roads and the rest. A lot of factors would have, come to play on that.
Yeah, inflation could well be one of the reasons for that. But I will tell you that the forces of demand and supply is the primary reason. Because if there was enough supply, there won't be high prices, no matter the inflation rate.
There'll be a glut. If there's a glut, prices will drop.
If the supply is far higher than the demand, and the supply has never been as high as the demand in Nigeria, that is the truth of the matter. All the statistics will prove that. And what I think the new administration, should focus on is how to make supply more or higher than previously, more than demand, or as high as demand. How do you do that? There are certain steps you must have to take. For instance, yield. You need to increase the yield for every crop in Nigeria. And it's possible today with biotechnology products that are in abundance, and we have one or two that are very, very good, available in Nigeria. Now, biotechnology products, can do that for you. For instance, let me be very specific because that's the sector I play in. Rice production in Nigeria, whether you are doing Faro 66, 64, whatever you are doing, rice production in Nigeria is 2.5 metric tons to 4 metric tons per hectare of paddy per hectare. That is the maximum yield under best practices. For maize, we are talking 3 to 4 metric tons per hectare. Now, there's a product, a biotechnology product, that has been proven to give 7.5 to 9 metric tons of rice per hectare.
What's this product?
Natural clean biofertilizer. And I'm not saying proven in the backyards or anything. Rice Farmers Association, 2019, the chairman of Rice Farmers Association in Sokoto, the chairman of Rice Farmers Association in Enugu State. Sokoto was Saliu Ibrahim. Enugu was Mrs. Ejim, who is an agronomist. at the direction of the president of the association, Goronyo, tried this product and got extra yields. Subsequently, the Rice Farmers Association president, chairman in Bauchi, Dr. Yahaya, got 8.3 metric tons. Christian, 8.3 metric tons, as opposed to 2.5 to 4 metric tons. It's more than 100% extra yield.
Was this not introduced into the anchor borrower
That's
scheme?
that's the point. It wasn't.
Yeah, this new administration has that opportunity. I mean, with experts like you coming to postulate how to increase the yields and increase GDP, because that again is another focal point of the Tinubu administration.
Of course, of course. I agree with you entirely. And it is our responsibility, every Nigerian, to support the president, the new president, no matter what political party you belong to. As long as he's the president today. You know, during the elections, he was saying that his objective is to make GDP 12%. You know?
Yeah.
Now, when he was being sworn in, he said it should be above 6%. The realities of governance had down on him. But I can say to the president, you can, with agriculture is not the only way. There are so many ways you can do it. And it's not only through yields, actually, because evacuation of goods, farm produce from the farms to the marketplaces.
Which he has said here, you know,
Yes.
adding, you know, value access to the processes and the rest, bringing back the commodity boards, you know. At this time, do we really need the commodity boards? Don't forget, I mean, in consideration of the fact that 70% of, you know, Nigerian farmers are in the rural areas and the rest.
Yeah, no matter where the farmers are, you know, it depends on what values the commodity boards are going to bring to us. Because that's the most important thing.
Okay.
The values they bring to us. But what the point I'm trying to stress is that GDP can be positively impacted with yields, because the kind of yields we're talking about.
Would that be the only added value that we can get? Because you speak like a solutionist, a solution-centric, you know, entrepreneur and expert in this area. What other quickly solutions would you be profiling and challenges to conquer in, you know, Nigeria's new agricultural drive?
Evacuation of produce.
Yeah.
You know, like I had said before, from the farms to the marketplaces has been a problem, always. And all farms, all commercial farms are necessarily located in distant places, non-residential places. Access routes to those places are bad. I can tell you something. There are technologies. There's a road construction technology, soil stabilization, you know, which we had preferred to the government for the past 15 years, 12 years or so, you know. Very cheap way of building roads, soil stabilization, without involving doing all the work you do in
with asphalt and the rest.
Asphalt and the rest of them. You are just using the in-situ soil, you know, stabilize it with enzymes or chemicals, and within a day, you can do 1 kilometer to 10 kilometers, depending on how fast you want to be, you know. And the road is far cheaper, and can be guaranteed for 3 to 5 years without any overlay. These are things that can be done. But is the government willing to do the talk? Is the issue. We know corruption is another problem in Nigeria. It won't start with Mr. President Tinubu. Will he be able to tackle it effectively? Yeah. Those are the issues.
Those are very critical questions that policymakers will be interrogating and expecting experts like you to come and prefer further solutions or put position papers in the works to accelerate Nigeria's agricultural development. Victor Okechukwu, thanks so. Vishnay, yeah, thanks so very much for speaking to us.
Thank you for having me. Okay.